आरबीआई ने कहा कि उसने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यापार या सरल शब्दों में आयात निर्यात के बजाय रुपए में निपटाने के लिए एक तंत्र स्थापित किया है। केंद्रीय बैंक द्वारा जारी बयान के अनुसार रुपए में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यापार निपटान के लिए इस तंत्र के तहत बैंकों को उपयोग करने के लिए पहले मंजूरी की आवश्यकता होगी। रुपए में वैश्विक रुचि यूक्रेन पर रूस के आक्रमण के मद्देनजर भारतीय मुद्रा पर बढ़ते दबाव के बीच ये कदम उठाया गया है।
Long-standing vision of this government has been to make the Indian currency, the rupee, a internationally acceptable and global currency. So that's the context and the background. Why are we calling this a big move by the Reserve Bank of India? Because now, technically, anyone who wants to import or export from the country can invoice, pay or settle their account in the rupee. Now, before this, most of these trades were pegged to the US dollar. Why does this become important and significant right now, and what could the possible aim be? So we should look at it in two ways. One is, of course, right now the rupee is weak. That's because the demand for the dollar is high. If you start increasing trade in rupee, you will then be reducing the local demand for dollar by that stretch, and that may help stabilize the rupee or lessen the pace at which it drops. So that's part one. Part two is you have to look at the nations which have Western sanctions against them, like Russia. If India wants to trade, for example, with Russia or with Sri Lanka, it makes more sense for us to do it in the rupee. So the RBI has now facilitated this way that you can trade, import, export and settle all of those payments in the rupee. But the next question is that it sounds like a good plan on paper. Will it really be successful, and what are the hiccups there? The biggest hiccup there is that India is a nation with a high current account deficit. The rupee is, unlike the dollar, not considered a safe haven or a reserve currency or a hard currency. So we will have to see if there really is a demand for global trade in the rupee when it comes to a certain section of nations. Maybe Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka may be interested in. But would Singapore or other nations, the United States, be interested in this? That is really the true test.